Well, hey there, guys. I'm Axel the Beast, and this is the Curiosity Shop, the Zelda Dungeon video mailbag where I answer your Zelda questions. Our first question comes from Michi Von Witch. If you were to transform into any animal upon entering the Twilight Realm, which would it be? I try to work these in every once in a while, questions that are more like the really opinionated stuff that, you guys can help answer in the comments, so post what you say down in the comments. But as for me, I don't think I'm, cool enough. I mean, who thinks I'm cool? I don't think I'm cool enough to be a flying animal. I don't think I'm, I don't think there's anything else that really fits me other than a standard land animal, really. I mean, I'd like to be a bird. It's my favorite animal, but no. I think I'd probably wind up as a frickin' hyena. I mean, let's face it, I'm weird and I'm annoying and I laugh too much, and a hyena would probably be what I'd end up as. I don't know if that's cool like being a wolf or lame like being a bunny, but that's it. Cameron X49 asks, in your last mailbag you talked about Skyward Sword and its association with creation. Do you think the story of the game could possibly include the creation of Death Mountain, Lake Hylia, or Gerudo Valley, maybe from an earthquake, volcano, or other means? I don't think it's going to go that far, because, I don't think we're going to actually see the creation happening in the game, but I do think that, I don't know if I really think it's going to involve the creation so much as, earlier in the series before, stuff that has been established existed. I don't think we're going to see Death Mountain upheaved from the earth, but I do think we might see Hyrule before Death Mountain, or maybe just have Death Mountain. I just don't think we're going to see Hyrule Castle and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to see the Hylian civilization, although they might appear. I don't know, but my main thing about creation was creation of the civilization, not the world. I think the world will still be there. I don't think we're going to see like the chaos before Hyrule or anything like that. Welcome Home asks, do you think that Skyloft will have any connection to the Cloud Tops in Minish Cap? I think definitely, considering they're almost the same thing. I mean, Skyloft is supposedly was part of Hyrule, or is supposed to be, or something. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but that's what they've claimed. So, automatically, maybe it's a little different. We don't know if it's actually going to be clouds in all of Skyloft. But, I think we could definitely see some relation. I think it's more likely to be related to Cloud Tops than the City in the Sky. Just because that's the Uka stuff. I don't like the Uka. They're weird. J-Pod asks, me and my friends have followed the story of Ocarina of Time for a while. We thought that Link was immortal because he has the Triforce of Courage. Is that true? Because I'm not quite sure. Well, let me put it this way. Go play Ocarina of Time. Go into a dungeon. Get hit and lose all your hearts. Then come back and see if you need to ask me that question. Okay, that was kind of mean. Sorry. Actually, from what we've seen, the Triforces don't actually grant their bearers much power, really. I mean, all we saw in Ocarina of Time, or the Wind Waker, really, was that the Triforce was a component, the individual Triforces were components of the big Triforce, which grants a wish, and other than that, they just let you do certain things, like Link needed the Triforce of Courage to get to this under the sea in the Wind Waker. So, other than that, we haven't really seen too much examples of powers these Triforces give them, except in Twilight Princess was the first example of this, really, that I know of, in that Ganon was immortal because of the Triforce of Power. So, despite that, Link is not immortal. He's definitely not. I mean, not in the sense that he can't be harmed, and not in the sense that he lives forever, because it's a different Link in every game. That's a confirmed fact. And in the Wind Waker, they even blatantly state this Link is not related to previous Links. So, ultimately, no. He's not immortal because of it. Random Zelda Fan 94 asks, do you think we might get some insight on Majora's Mask, considering the mask was created by an ancient race and they sealed the great evil inside of Majora's Mask? Do you think the great evil of Majora's Mask could be the evil in Skyward Sword? Oh, Majora's Mask related questions. I missed you. They actually, in Majora's Mask, they don't talk about what Majora's Mask is. They say it's a mask used by an ancient tribe in its hexane rituals. So, like, for curses and stuff, to probably spite people, or to strike at their enemies. But we don't actually know what the mask was, how it was created, or what its power is. Now, judging from the nature of the game, especially Stone Tower, which had Majora pictures on it and stuff, and other things, it's likely to assume Majora was a being that was probably worshipped in Stone Tower, or at least that's my interpretation. But I think it's almost definite that Majora had to have been some kind of being or entity, because it's Majora's mask. It belonged to Majora, you know? And I suspect that that form that he takes, Majora's Wrath, is him. But that is just me. I don't think we're going to see much about Majora's Mask in Skyward Sword, personally. It's possible. That's an interesting theory. But, you know, that was in Termina. This is probably Hyrule. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see Majora's Mask in this game. Caleb Wilson asks, do you think that Nintendo will ever come out with a game that will show where Link went, or what happened to Link after he went back into the woods at the end of Majora's Mask? What do you think happened? To be honest, I don't think we're ever going to see a follow-up or a prequel to Majora's Mask. I think the game was finished and its story was finished, and they'll never follow up on it. But as for what happened to Link, I think he just went off on a journey. I don't think he ever did anything spectacular, and he probably settled down. Because I think Ocarina of Time wasn't originally supposed to have the split timeline. I think when he was sent back, he was supposed to go to Termina. When he came back, he probably just did his own thing and lived a quiet life. That's just me. And of course, that's not true anymore because of the split timeline. But, you know, I think he probably didn't do much, and I don't think we're going to see a follow-up on it. As boring of an answer as that is. Ian Artajo asks, did you actually find the water temple in Ocarina of Time to be as hard as people say it is? No, actually. I didn't actually think it was that bad. I mean, obviously it was trickier. As I've mentioned in, like, a forum post on the ZeldaDungeon.net forums, that, the way the water dungeons are designed, you really have to think in a three-dimensional space a lot more than other themes or elements. With that in mind, they are trickier to think with, but other than that, I don't think it was that much worse. The Great Bay Temple was more challenging. The Water Temple was kind of mild compared to that. I will admit it was probably one of the trickier dungeons in the games, especially if you couldn't interpret the map, which did make sense if you paid attention to how the map system worked, but it was a little hard for some people. It was an odder dungeon. I can understand why people found it hard. I didn't myself. So, yeah. Shane asks, I was wondering why did they take Sheik out of the series? Even though he was Zelda, he was still an awesome character with his mysterious personality. What are your thoughts on the subject, and do you expect to see him again? Actually, no, I don't think we'll see him again, though I do agree he was completely awesome. And despite what people, argue on the subject, I do think he was a he. I think Zelda turned male, or something, sex change. Basically, my thoughts on the subject is that he was made for Ocarina of Time. He was part of Ocarina of Time's story. It was exclusive to that, and I think trying to bring him back will feel forced and weird because he was part of Ocarina of Time. I don't think they should necessarily bring that element back because it's not relevant, and I don't think it's too likely another Princess Zelda would have dressed up as a Sheikah or something, because, Sheikah only appear really in Ocarina of Time anyway. So those are my thoughts. I mean, I love Sheik, but I don't think he needs to or should appear again. Not to be mean. Zach Abu El Haj asks, in Skyward Sword, should Link be a customizable character? Although we may not see this in the game, would you like to see it appear in the game or possibly future games? I think if they're going to continue with what they had in that Link is an extension of the player, his link to the game, I think they should try to do something like this, because I love customization, and I know everyone else has to. Come on, who doesn't like customization? But, if they're going to keep him roughly how he is, which is kind of not quite that, or make him more of his own character, I don't know if they should customize him much. I mean, if you're talking like clothes and stuff, sure, but if you're talking like how he looks, probably not. I don't think that'll ever really happen, and necessarily should. Chris Skull asks, in your videos leading up to E3 and the premiere of Skyward Sword, you said that it might have Majora's Mask-like side quests. Now, is this confirmed, and what kind of side quests would you like to see? They've said that it will be a denser game, that it will not have, it will not be as long, but it will have more to what it has. That, in my mind at least, my interpretation of what they said, does sort of confirm that it will be more like Majora's Mask. Though, I'm not really sure what they're actually going to do. I mean, of course I can't say that. I expect and would like more side quests, of course, like Majora's Mask, where the characters, the NPCs, are actually significant. You actually care about these insignificant characters. Contradictions. And, you know, they have their own story. I think that was a great strength of Majora's Mask, and that needs to appear again. It was a great element. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. Alright, guys, that's it for this time. Be sure to send your questions to the email address in the description, and later.